everyone, Ashley Mailloux here with the DRF. This Sunday, there's a Coast to Coast Pick 5 with 3 races from Santa Anita, 2 from Gulfstream Park, and it's all turf. And I have to admit, my ticket is lighter than I necessarily originally put together. It's a very challenging sequence. I feel like there are some races maybe you can take a stand, but others you probably need to spread. So we'll take a look at my ticket race by race. Starts off at Gulfstream Park in their 8th race. I do use 3 runners in this allowance optional claiming event at 1 mile and a 16th on the turf. It's for 3-year-old fillies. The number 3, Erna, she tried stakes competition last time out. I thought she fared pretty well off that maiden victory 2 starts back. And she surrendered late in that event. It was the Ginger Brew. I think the competition was decent in that race. Cairo Consort was the winner, came back to win next out. So really excited about Erna in this race. I also like the number 6, Well Into, out of the Jonathan Thomas barn. Ran okay on debut, but just to see how much she improved second time out, I thought it was huge. She was kind of much the best in gate to wire fashion, and that was at today's race distance, in this one I should say, at 1 mile and a 16th. Then I also use the number 10, Silver Stripes, who's a pricey purchase back in August of 2021, $800,000, who won on debut. Now that race was on the Tapeta, but I have a good chance based on her pedigree and just what we saw in that Tapeta race that she will take to the turf quite nicely. So I used that one as well. We moved to Santa Anita Park's 3rd race, a starter allowance for $25,000, 5 furlongs on the turf course. And this was a race. There were a couple horses maybe to look at. Then obviously the number 1, Ready Jet Go, is the horse I ended up on. I thought the 2, Teen Rama, maybe one to look at, and the 6, Angel Sense. I feel like a lot of people are going to use this mare. She is 6 for 15 in her career, but this year and last year, she's a combined 0 for 5. She hasn't hit the board in 5 starts in 2022 and 2023. She's getting some significant class relief, in my opinion, but I couldn't use her in here. So I go to the number 1, Ready Jet Go, who disappointed in the first start of 2023. But when you look at some of her races late last season, I think she had some pretty good efforts at Del Mar and Santa Anita. She does have the inside draw, and hopefully she'll be just off the pace in this 5 furlong dash. We'll move to Gulfstream Park for their 10th race, a maiden special weight event at 1 mile on the turf. This is for fillies and mares 4 and up. Looking at this group, I spread once again. I used the 2, 6, and 8. The 2, she's an interesting filly by Medaglia d'Oro, was an expensive purchase previously in the barn of Chad Brown. And kind of to be a maiden, race 3rd in the Woodbine Oaks says a lot about her. Moira was the winner, a dominant winner. Now she's getting back against, typical maiden groups that she would see. The number 6, War Princess, maybe the one to beat in here, has been kind of knocking at the door in the last couple efforts and comes into this race off a pretty nice second on the Tapeta back on February 12th. And the 8, Loop Player, this is a horse that seems to be getting better with each and every start, and I think woke up last time out while trying the turf for the first time. So now second start off the layoff and staying on the turf might be the recipe for success. Now we'll go to Santa Anita and we'll stay there for the last 2 legs of the sequence. Race number 5, it's about 6.5 furlongs on the downhill. Looking at this group, I did use 3 runners in here. The number 1, Still Socking. This one out of the Doug O'Neill barn was most recently 4th in the grade 3 megahertz, is now going to cut back in distance, which I really think will suit her well. And we saw that last time out that maybe going a mile was a tad long for her in that race. I'll also use the 6, Standing O, who's won his last 2 efforts, and he's done it quite nicely, been able to sit kind of mid-pack early on and make a nice late run. One of those at 1 mile, more recently at 6 furlongs. I think he might get the setup he needs in here, as well as the number 8, Fantastic. Frankie Dettori was aboard this one last time out in that first start of 2023, and this one was much the best, going to step up in class, but off that most recent effort with a 92 buyer speed figure, does fit this race quite nicely. Then to wrap things up, it's race number 7 at Santa Anita at 1.25 miles on the turf. The grade 3, Santa Ana. Went with 2 horses in here. The 2, Queen of the Temple. This one of the Dan Blacker barn. To be honest, I like her progression since October and what we've seen in her 3 starts. She's gradually stretched out. She ran very well last time out at 1.5 miles, and I actually like her cutting back in distance. And then I'll use the number 3, Australia Miss, who's a 9-time winner in her career. She made her first start at Santa Anita and in the U.S. last time out in the Astra. She was 3rd behind Queen of the Temple, who is 2nd. I do think she's going to improve in her second start here in the U.S. So that is my ticket here, a $54 play, affordable, as affordable I could get it, as I should say. I do have that single in the 3rd race at Santa Anita, which did kind of slim down this ticket. Good luck this Sunday. It's a tricky sequence, but it's awesome that it's all on the turf.